The biggest thing you have to know about taking your brand national is that is really two things. One is that marijuana is still illegal at the federal level, as we all know. And although having a national company doesn't, implicate any of the federal government's law enforcement priorities that they've outlined in the Cole memo, which sort of created this federal policy of tolerance, no one really knows how the federal government is going to treat a national or an international marijuana company when marijuana is still nationally illegal. And so the second takeaway, though, is, the more practical takeaway is that each state that we have 30 some odd states have some form of marijuana laws, whether it's a high CBD bill, a medical marijuana bill, or legal marijuana for all adults. Each one of these states has a different set of laws, and these different set of laws create unique challenges for companies who want to create a national brand. And they have to be flexible, and they have to look at each state on its own in terms of how can they advertise, what sort of labeling and packaging is there, how can they even structure this deal, can they have a wholly owned subsidiary, or can they have a licensing arrangement, or how do they get paid through the licensing arrangement. All of these sort of scenarios differ by state, and so really the number one key to creating a national brand is to really to get into the nuances of each state law and make sure your plan works for that state. And once you sort of successfully conquered a state, then focus on the next one. Licensing is by far the most popular arrangement for a brand going national. But some folks have taken it a step farther than licensing. They said, look, in Oregon, there's no residency restrictions, and so I'm just going to open up a subsidiary in Oregon as opposed to licensing it to someone who I may or may not trust or I may or may not know. But in general, it's really the licensing arrangement that is the most popular. And there's specific pitfalls with that arrangement, and there's specific pitfalls with every arrangement. But I think, in light of the fact that you can't have a national distribution network, the licensing arrangement does make sense.